Sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing.
Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to see what I think about the new Under the Mistletoe collection. This is a collection of 5 short stories by a variety of authors, and before I let the month slip away, I figured I could go ahead and try to knock these out. So like I said, 5. First one is Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. The next one is Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. The third is All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. The fourth is Merriment and Mayhem by Alexandra Bellafleur. And the fifth and final short story in the collection is Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. And this is the only author I have not read from before. I will be reading these on my trusty Kindle, and yeah, I will let you guys know short little reviews for these short stories as I read them. So if you're interested in my thoughts on the collection, what I thought, we'll do a ranking at the end. That's what I'm here to do. But before we do that, I thought I could talk quickly about what type of stories I think make good short stories, and also just these are going to be romance. So what do I think about these romance short stories before I even get started, and what will I be looking for? So I did make some notes on my phone. So all right, the genres that I think would make for good short stories, I have read good ones, are horror and thrillers, and some historical fiction, depending if you have any background knowledge of the historical event. But those are the 3 main ones that I think make really compelling short stories. Horror, because it doesn't take a lot to scare somebody. Thrilling, because it doesn't take a lot to raise someone's heart, beat. And well, mysteries kind of falls into that category as well, but you really have to get right down to it. And then of course historical fiction, like I said, if you have background knowledge of the historical event or the historical person that you're going to be reading about. So there's not a lot of words, there's not a lot of pages to develop a story, so you're not going to see the same arc or the same build up that you would in a typical novel, obviously. So for this collection, since it's called Under the Mistletoe, I'm looking for the Christmas vibes. That's what I'm here for. I know it is a romance collection, or at least I'm pretty sure it's a romance collection, but the last one makes me think it's probably a mystery too. So I want to critique it based on like, would you read this during Christmas, or does this feel like it's set any time of year? How do I like the characters? How do I like the tropes? What's the setting like? Does it feel atmospheric and Christmassy and wintry? And how much spice is in there? Because these are short stories. And yeah, I know some of these authors are used to writing spicy books, so I'm wondering how they're going to balance that and if they're going to do it well. So let's go ahead and get started with our first one, and I'll review them as I read them. Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. This was my favorite one of the entire collection. If you read none of the others in the collection, that might be a good thing, but definitely read this one. It's so cute. It's second chance. It's childhood friends to lovers. This one, do I think it's Christmassy? Not necessarily, but it is like winter because there's a snowstorm and she gets trapped kind of like in his house while she's asking him for a copper pan for her father. So she goes next door to what, you know, her best friend's house. Like, it was her best friend's house growing up, but they've gone off for the holiday, and so he's staying there watching the house. And surprise, surprise, they have history, and as it plays out, it is so cute. It does have a little bit of spice in there, but compared to the other ones, like barely none at all. But it does do a build up. Even though it is a short story, I felt like there was a build up to it, and I really, really liked that. So super cute and steamy. Some people might say that Mark comes off a little stalkerish because of like one little thing he does in the story, but in the context of the story, I found it sweet. As they aged, they went from like a friendship to like him pulling pranks on her in high school and stuff like that. And the whole time he's been obsessed with her. So, and she's loved him too. Like, that's just the thing. They've loved each other forever, and now they're finally getting together. He knows her way more than she gives him credit for. And yeah, it was just, I loved it. So Ali Hazelwood did great with this one. A Rude Awakening, Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey was. If you want to read a porno, read this short story. It was sex start to finish. It was lust. It was disgusting because she is a single parent and has a young child, and they're essentially strangers. They know nothing about one another other than he's 6'6" and he comes into the thrift store and can never find jeans. Literally, it's just sex after that. And it's very descriptive, but basically he comes into the thrift store often to find jeans. He can never find any that fits because he is so big. So she custom makes him some and takes them to his house. And it's like the lust and the buildup is already there, but then the baby cries, so she leaves, and then he takes her a Christmas present, and they have sex right there on the floor in her house. And it was just, no, this was not a vibe. Again, Christmas vibes, not really there at all. Maybe it was just too much sex for me. So I gave that one star, do not recommend. Next was All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. And this one also did not feel Christmassy. It felt more winter because you have these adjunct professors who work in this Wienermobile. I don't even know what it was called, but they're basically heinous holiday traffic. It's Nina and William, unpaid adjunct professors at the same university where winter break is no break at all this season to make extra money when their holiday side hustle has them stranded by a blinding blizzard in the middle of nowhere. They're basically in this like Wienermobile, and they have the hots for each other, but neither one knows it. Nina thinks that William is into her best friend Claudia, but he's actually just trying to get tips from Claudia about how to approach her. And I usually like adore Olivia Dade's books. Like, they're always set in Virginia, around my area, so I'm always very familiar with the cities that they talk about, the highways that they talk about, and stuff like that. I love that she uses plus size main characters, but this was so cringy. Maybe because I'm thinking that they're doing this in this vehicle where they sell food and they have sex in the vehicle. And like, for the longest time, I thought Claudia was in the Wienermobile with them, and I kind of missed that they dropped her off, and I was just scared she was going to come out any minute. It just felt like an overused trope, and it was just like kind of tired, and I do think it was a little humorous at times, but not how she usually is. Like usually she has me rolling, but I wasn't with this one. They were acting more horny teenager than 30-year-old professors at a university. Yeah, so I am giving it a 1.5 stars and bumping it up to 2 stars. So I also do not recommend this one. This, if you want you a sexy firefighter, this is right up your alley. I adored the meet cute of these two. You have a woman who gets the fire department called on her because she has a mishap with her stove and her house is burning basically. And so sexy firefighter to the rescue, and then she's trying to hang some lights and she falls off the ladder and she's gripping onto the gutter and he has to come out again, and she ends up going to thank them because of something else that happens, and they're obviously attracted to one another. He asks her out on this date, they go, things happen, they end back up at his place and sexy times ensue. I did like it for the most part until it got to the sexy times, so I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was good. Last one in the collection, Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. This one was cute and it had some spice, but definitely not as spicy as some of the other ones. In this one we have 2 neighbors that live in the same building. One lives downstairs, one lives upstairs. They live right above each other, and they like each other. And they don't know that the other one has feelings for them, but another neighbor is having a holiday party and they invite them over and they go, there's mistletoe involved, there's a kiss, and things lead from there. This one was holiday-like because there's a holiday party, there's also a Christmas tree and ornaments and all of that involved. I would say the most Christmassy one was the last story, Only Santa's in the Building. My favorite to my least favorite, my top favorite is Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. Next up would probably be Only Santa's in the Building, then Merriment and Mayhem, then All by My Elf by Olivia Dade, and last but not least, Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. But honestly, the Christmas vibes were not there. They have very Christmassy covers. They're, you know, presented as these like Christmassy, spicy, you know, rom-coms, and they are short, but wow, the spice level was too much for me in each of these stories. So keep that in mind, and yeah, only read the first one in my opinion. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having a lovely day or night. Leave a Christmas emoji in the comments down below if you made it this far in the video. And I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye, friends.